Hi guys, so today I have some new items to share with you from Diamond Press. They did send these items free of charge for my review and all opinions are my own. With Diamond Press it's a little bit different. I do have an affiliate code, so I will have the links for you guys, but if you use the code VCDP, you'll get 10% off your order. And that's also an affiliate code, means I'll make a small commission whenever you use that code. And for this, you will be able to use the code, I believe. These are new items on mydiamondpress.com. I say it right at the top because I always get questions. People say I don't see them on HSN or whatever it is. The links are there. They'll take you right to where you need to go. But it's also on mydiamondpress.com, not HSN, okay? So I have a few new things here, and maybe you saw the Facebook Live, and the items are now on the site that you can pick up. So I'm going to do a few review videos for you guys, and I'll open these up, the little unboxing here, and then I'll try maybe one or two of the sets out here, and then keep an eye out for the other videos. But let me open these guys up. So this is the Alphabet Dies, Whimsical Halo. Let's check this out. Sounds very cute. Oh, these are a nice size. Let me see here. 2.5 inches or so by like 1.25 inches, a little bit bigger. It depends on the letter, of course. But that's a really nice size alpha, and as you can see, it does say Whimsical Halo, so it has the shadow, So you can do just a little skinny letter, or you can do it with the shadow, or you can use the shadow to cut like an aperture if you wanted, and then pop in this letter, or however you want to use these. I think that's really great. We have the Marquee cutting folder. It's the capital letters, and then it has numbers too. That's really great. So that's one of the new items. And then this one is the Slimline Decal Edge dies. So if you're familiar, they had come out with some decal edge, I think, for like your standard A2 size type cards. This is the Slimline, which is really nice. It's always nice to have a fun shape for a slimline instead of just like a cut, rectangle or however, but something fun. So this has that decal edge, so we'll definitely try it out. And it very much echoes, like this one echoes. Yeah, I don't know if you can see the way they're paired up there. Really cool. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 dies in there, and then let me measure them just real quick. Like I said, I'm not sure which ones I'm going to use today, so maybe there's info you want. It goes right about 8.5. I suppose it depends on where. So 8.5. So it's going to cover the whole front of your card, depending on how you make your slimlines, by 3.5. So a little bit of that edge will show through, like if you have an 8.5 by 3.5 card base, which is what I prefer. Comes with an extended cutting folder. This little cutie, I'm just very curious about this one. This is the mini card dies called Medallion. And let's measure these, because I'm curious if this is more of a mini slimline or like a A4. Those are just slightly different in shape or in size. I guess it just depends on what you want to do. So an A4 is 4 by 6. It's actually smaller than that, but you can round it up to 4 by 6, right? If you were to take an A4 piece of paper and cut it right in half. Usually it's 4 and like 1/8 by almost 6 or whatever. But if you just do 4 by 6, that's basically an A4. And then a mini slimline is like 3.5 by 6, at least the way I do it. So let's measure these real quick. Yeah, it's 6 inches right at the very edge. And I'm not talking about the die, but I'm talking about like the cutting edge. So that's really nice. By just over 3, so I think that about 3. That's gonna work out really nicely for like a mini slimline, or if you want to pop it on a 4 by 6, however you want to do it. Okay, so on this one, let me just show you. Oh, somebody had mentioned in another video of mine that I should make mention that the older sets, and that's having to do with the sale My Diamond Press had before. They brought some of their older sets back, that they didn't have an inspiration sheet, and so for me, if I showed it in the video, you should assume it would be there, and if it's not in the video, then you should assume it's probably not going to be there, right? So like on this one, I didn't show you an inspiration sheet, so I wouldn't expect that it's going to come with one later, okay? Hopefully that makes some sense. So on this one, it does have an inspo sheet, and oh my gosh, how cute. Okay, so I was looking at it to make like a card that goes this way, but you can also just make it a card itself. How cute. So in my mind, I totally saw this differently. So we have like, let's say this shape, As you can see, there are 4 of them. Lots of sentiments, super cute. And so it says, you know, you have the thing, you can fold it in, and then you have like happy birthday, or you are simply the best, just for you. Best wishes, hello, happy note, thank you. So pretty. Okay, so that makes sense, but I'll probably still make it a card topper. We'll see. So cute. So it makes like a little note card that's a little fancy. And it has the Marquee cutting folder. Again, if you don't have a Marquee, don't worry about it. You can use these thin metal dies in any machine that cuts thin metal dies, and vice versa. You can use other thin metal dies in your Marquee, and that's just fine. Oh, and this one. Nesting border dies called Stitches, and looking at it, this is so cool. I love nesting dies, so that's one thing. But this one also has this piece here. There's like a slimline perforated plate, basically. It's not gonna cut, it just, well, it cuts these designs into your paper, but it doesn't cut away like on the edges. Wow, that's so cool. I mean, you can use it on any size paper. If you have a piece of paper that's only to here, you know, just run it through and still get that design on there. But it is very nice and long. It's about 8.5 inches by a couple inches. And then we have our nesting dies. So again, no inspo sheet on this one, but check that out. Oh, that is so cool. So this actually cuts the whole frame, it looks like. This whole piece here cuts out. I don't know if you can see there's edges, right? So those cut. This one also cuts from here to here. And then this one is like another little frame here that cuts here to here. And then we have this little center one. Really nice for sentiments. I'm going to pop them in there, just to have that focal point. And so that's a rectangle, and I'm assuming it's probably for like an A2 size card. Yeah, it's almost exactly 5.5, a little bit smaller than that, by about 4. So it's just like a little smaller than an A2 size. And then we have these squares here that are very similar. They all have that little stitching pattern kind of going through. I love this one, the little scallop. Little zigzag. And the biggest guy on this one is about a 4-inch square. All right, guys, so I'm going to grab some paper and we'll try some of these out. Okay, guys, so I am going to make this die set into a mini slimline card. So I'm going to use it a little bit differently, but we can talk about how it's intended in just a minute. I'm going to use this one, and I think I'll do a little bit of paper piecing. But for my card base, I have a card here that is 6 by 7, and we're going to score it at 3.5, so it'll be 6 by 3.5. Okay, so that's what that light blue is. On this white piece, I'm going to cut out this little guy. And then I was like, well, this isn't going to cut out that center piece. And I thought, well, I can cut, you know, a square with any other die and just pop it in there to kind of give some contrast. But in this set, we have these squares, and I was wondering if this square might fit. This one looks a little bit too small. So I think I'm going to use this even if it's a little bit different. And I'm going to cut this out of some dark blue paper. And that's going to be, you know, the base of our card. I'm going to start there. This is going to cut a frame, though, because like I said, it does cut that inner, I believe. We'll see. If it does cut a frame, then I'll just use it again to cut another square out of the center out of a different color paper. But for now, I'm just going to take these guys and run them through the Marquee, and I'll be right back. Okay, so yes, it does cut that completely out, that center square. So I ran it through this paper also, so I have another like contrasting square to nestle in there. And then this is our base piece. So cute. So hopefully you can see that it has like little score lines. And again, on the inspo sheet, I know they're hard to, let me see, I can't get the angle quite right there, maybe there. You would score it and then fold it in, and it would make like a little note card that I'm assuming would be about 3 inches square. But I'm going to put it on my card as a topper. So the other thing I'm going to do is on this side, I'm going to run just in this area, get a red piece of paper. I'm going to clean this out. And actually I could use these pieces and just color them with like ink if you wanted to just dauber them with little ink and make it a little more artsy. That piece and then the little teardrop shapes. But what I'm going to do is run it through red piece of paper and then also through green. So I can get some green going for these little pieces and a little red in there, okay? So I will be right back. Okay, so let's get started. We're already, again, 6 by 3.5. If you want it to be more matched up, because like let's say this is already 6 inches wide on its own, so there's not too much left to right. But I do have some top to bottom because I have a 3.5. But if you want to cut it down, then cut it down. I would say take this bottom 1/4 inch off and it'll just nest in there. But I'm just gonna just place it in here kind of split the difference there on the top and bottom. And then I'm going to paper piece in the little red and green bits that I did. Now, if you want to do much more than that, you can definitely do much more than that, or don't do any of that. I know some people love paper piecing and some people don't. So let's put this in here. I just thought this was cute. And I will put a little glue on the back of my hand. Get those last little bits. And again, I'm kind of looking left to right. Oh, pretty good. Okay, and I'm just going to take a little, oh, they're exactly the same, but this did come from this side. So I'll pop that in there. Look at that. It just reminds kind of like a Russian nesting doll type thing. And then these little pieces, I always like to keep them together, or at least try to. So I just need these little green bits. And again, I'll just put a little glue. Oh, my hand just got in there, glue. Just a little dab will do you. You don't need too much. And if you do get a little too much, you can just pick it up. And just pop those in. And I'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Push that in. And this one here. And this one here. So sweet. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay. So sweet. And I'm just going to glue this down completely, I believe, and then I'll have this popped up with a sentiment. So I'm just going to glue this down. I do want to show you how sweet this frame is. It's really delicate. The little accent, little cuts. There you go. How sweet. So I'm just going to place this kind of, actually the score lines are kind of helping me do that. And then this one, it's just a plain piece that, you know, I cut the other frames and I have that for a different card. I think what I'm going to do is run it through with this. Why not? Get a little texture on it. So I'm going to take this off here. And this is a little bit bigger than this, but I just want a little texture. If you really want to, you can go this way, let's say this way, and then whatever's left there. Maybe I should do both. I was just going to put it here. You know what? Let's go ahead and run it through twice. So I'll do this. I have it right on the edge. I'm just going to put a little bit of my best ever craft tape here, mostly on the die, a little bit on the paper, just to kind of hold it. I'm going to run this through, and I'll run it through this one. Again, the kits always come with new folders, but I always like to keep using what I have. Oh my goodness. That is so pretty, you guys. Like if you were going to make, I know people always mention little lanterns or things, because I mean, you can see right through that. I did not expect it to be so etched. Oh my gosh. I thought, okay, it's going to make an impression, you know, but wow. Okay, and then I'm just going to move it to here and run it through again. Let me see how far that is and move it a little bit further in. Just to kind of see, yeah, that'd be good. So I kind of got it really close to that scallop. That way this gap between the two won't be super noticeable. And I'll run this through and let's see how that looks. And then I'll choose one of the sentiments to top our card with. Oh my gosh, so cool. Did a little bit crooked, I might redo it, but not bad. That is so cool. Okay, let me choose a sentiment and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so I chose the sentiment hello and I already cut it out. And I cut it out from red paper and blue paper, the dark blue. And then I'm going to pop this little piece in here. I did redo it because like I said, it kind of shifted on me because I was like working on it in the air. So when I put it down, I put, you know, my my die again, and then put two pieces of tape just so it wouldn't move at all. And I'm just going to glue this down just because it did shift on me a little bit. I'm not putting glue wherever, but so it was a little bit crooked. I mean, it was very not super noticeable, but noticeable enough. So I put that there, and then I did want to show on this little X here at the bottom, because it's a smaller piece of paper, it did lose a little piece right here, so I still have that little piece because it's obviously in the folder. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, little dab of glue, and I'm going to pick up that little piece because I have it sitting here. This little guy. Oh my gosh, I'm going to get this closer to me so I can see it much better. There we go. Just pop them back in. I was going to put it up on dimensionals. You can do that too if you like. And I'm going to glue these two together real quick. Again, put glue on the back of my hand and glue these two as a drop shadow. And I'll be right back. Okay, to finish it up, I'm just going to put that on there. Really sweet. I love all the different textures here and there. And I'm just going to pop this on here. So just a different way to use this particular set and bring in those stitch dies. There it is, guys. So thanks for watching. Thank you so much, Die Press, for sending these items for my review. Yeah, they're available now on their site. Check them out. Again, I'll have the links there for you. If you want to use the code VCDP, you get your 10% off. Again, that is an affiliate code. And I'll have some images for you guys. And I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye now.